When I tell you, when I tell you that no matter what time of the year, no matter what time of the year, it could be the middle of anything. Football will always remain king. That is a flat out fact. Because I did not wake up on the date of June the 1st, 2026, expecting the things that happened today. I did not get up this morning expecting Myles Garrett to be in Los Angeles. Now, we all kind of saw the A.J. Brown trade coming from a mile away. We all knew that A.J. Brown was going somewhere. He wasn't staying in Philadelphia. He had worn out his welcome, and Philadelphia didn't want him anymore. They even took Mekhi Lemon in the first round in this year's NFL draft. We all knew that he wasn't going to be there very, very long. At least not this year, at least. We all knew. But for Myles Garrett to be in LA now, who was within an eyelash of going into the Super Bowl last year, that's amazing. So, Flash, man, I know we just got here. We just was here last night, man. Didn't expect us to be here tonight, but we had to let the people know what was going on. Number one, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I mean, it was a Monday at work, which whatever, but that happens. But the funny thing is during the show last night, I was flipping through on the internet and on my phone, and there was a splash rumor that the Rams were going to trade for Myles Garrett. And I didn't think anything serious of it because it's like we're post June 1st. So I guess we are June 1st. For some moves to happen, I kind of expected, but I didn't think it was going to be real.
Nope.
And then I was at work and I literally saw the ESPN post on Facebook 2 minutes after it was posted. So yeah. Boy, does this swing a lot of things. I am baffled. I shouldn't say I'm not baffled by this. This is the Rams that we're talking about. They're kind of like the Dodgers of the NFL in a certain way. They will trade their first round draft picks like nothing, and they will go get star talent. So I'm not completely surprised by this, but at the same time, it's still just like this shifts the whole NFC in a big way. Not only this, but the funny thing is in that little like rumor blip was if they did get Garrett, it would lure Aaron Donald out of retirement.
Yeah.
And that's already a thing. Like that's swirling now today. Because now, mind you, this is old for NFL standards, but Aaron Donald's only 35 years old. He could come back and play for a year or two.
Yeah. I mean, and I don't think they will be using him in a certain capacity. Salute to SB Talk Sports, real takes over fake debates, man. Hey, man, we gotta collab soon, guys. We gotta collab soon. So, but to your point, Flash, I don't think they're gonna bring him out of retirement in order to play 3 downs. I think they're gonna bring him in as the 3rd down guy in order to kind of be a space eater.
Yep.
I mean, in order to just eat up some space, because he's still in magnificent shape. He is in
social media.
In magnificent. He is in magnificent shape.
Yes.
So I'll say this. I really believe that he's going to end up coming. If he ends up coming back, he's going to be like a second down, third down type of guy. I don't think he's going to play all 3 downs every play. I think he might play like 20 snaps a game and then just rush the passer. I really think that's going to be his role. Now, I think he's going to get some sacks. I think he's going to be that space eater because, but they're not going to be able to double team him. This is going to be real because now you can't double team anybody. Now you got to worry about Fisk. Now you got to worry about Byron Young, who was the sack leader on that team last year, by the way. You had to worry about Keon Turner. You had to worry about a lot of other elements within there. So even if you break it back in a all 4 down capacity, you're not going to be able to double team him. So because you got to worry about Myles Garrett and Brian Young at this point. Then on top of that, people don't talk about this. They went and got Watson. They got Watson and Trent McDuffie. So the secondary is magnificent. Then you already had everything locked down on the offensive side of the ball. Had Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua when he gets out of rehab, and then you have Blake Corum and the other running back. Then your quarterback just won the MVP, and you just went to the NFC Championship. So with that being said, you have everything going for yourself. If people are going to talk about the 49ers, I think the 49ers are on the downside of everything at this point. They've lost a lot of core players. They've lost Brandon Ayuk. They've lost Deebo Samuels. They re-signed Trent Silverback Williams, but I really think they're at the end of this team cycling at this point. Plus, they can't stay out of Greater Memorial Hospital. None of the teams.
No.
Then the Cardinals, I don't think they're going to do anything. The only thing that I believe they have to worry about is the reigning Super Bowl champions, that being the Seattle Seahawks.
In the conference or the division?
In the division.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, by far.
You have
there's no question in the division. It's the Rams.
Yeah, it's the Seahawks. It's the Seahawks. You're gonna have to. It's a 2-man race in that division. I believe that if the Niners make it to the playoffs, they'll make it in as a 10-6, 10-7, maybe a wild card.
And you're right. They can't stay out of the tub, and I think that their window is now officially kind of closed. Like if they stay healthy, they'll still be like a playoff contender, but they're not a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah, so it's really a 2-man race within that division. It's going to be out of the Seahawks or the Rams at this point.
Yeah,
and it's going to be the Seahawks and the Rams. And the Seahawks got better this offseason, too. People are going to get at him about getting rid of Kenny Walker. But, Kenny Walker leading up to that game, there was a lot of durability issues.
Oh, for the last handful of years, he was a durability issue. Like you can find, as long as you have a good running scheme and a decent offensive line, which is what they do. They'll find a running back to get yards. They'll be okay. That isn't going to kill them. Don't get me wrong. I think Kenneth Walker's really good, but I don't think he's like, massively good. It doesn't like, it's not going to kill them. They're still they're still the defending champs, and they're probably now it's them and the Rams as the favorites.
Yeah. So quick question, man. I question to you, man, real quick, man, because LA is just, how do these, and I'm a Laker fan, by the way. How do these guys how does this LA market keep getting so lucky? First Ohtani, then Luka, now Myles Garrett. How lucky is the LA market in sports right about now? Because you're basically ruling the airwaves at this point.
I mean, I don't think, I think the only, I think the funny thing is out of the three of those, 2 of them are hose jobs. And then, but the Myles Garrett trade, if you look at it from the Browns' perspective, is actually a really good trade.
It really is.
It's actually really smart. They're not going to make the playoffs again. They have, they got Bill Cosby 2.0 at quarterback, and then they got the kid that hasn't figured it out yet. And they basically got a really good pass rusher from the Rams, who's a 2-time Pro Bowler already and only 25 years old. And is still on a rookie contract, and they got a first-round draft pick out of it. Like that's honestly, like you got younger and you stockpiled in draft picks. So, but if you look at the other 2, go ahead.
And the Browns have not missed these last 3 drafts.
No, they
have not missed.
No.
They have drafted from top to bottom. Every last one of those damn draft picks that they have drafted have been hits.
They just need a quarterback.
They just need to either for the Shedeur Sanders to figure it out, or Shane Diesel to finally learn how to throw the ball.
But if you look at the other 2 trades, we're talking about the Ohtani trade and the Luka trade. Those were hose jobs, and to be honest, LA has always kind of because it is LA, there's always that kind of, I've always felt and I think that's why LA gets so much hatred, is there's always been that, oh, well, we'll get you the stars because it's the biggest market besides New York.
Yeah, I mean,
And
LA loves a winner. You know what I'm saying? LA loves a winner. It's hard. The one thing, in the great words of Ice Cube, O'Shea Jackson Sr., the one thing you can never do in LA is lose.
yeah, but you just got to
That's like the Raiders. That's like the Raiders didn't last that long.
But the problem is, though, is that this is where I think like a lot of the public that's outside of the LA fans and then LA in general is that people are like, it just seems like they have to buy the wins now. It's not earned. And then they get help to get it's not, it's like the rich just keep getting richer, but like like you hear about like celebrities going to these galas or whatever, these galas is or what, something like that, and they just get free stuff all the time, and you're like, why are you getting free shit? You guys have gazillions of dollars. And it's like LA when they get like when Luka is traded to LA for a number 2 pencil, a half a bag of Fritos, and like Antonio Davis on one leg. Like it just is it I think that's the part that makes people mad. And then the Ohtani contract and how that was dealt. And then before that they got it's I think that's the problem. I think if LA was consistently more built to win, there wouldn't be as much hate. But when was the last time an LA team was built predominantly through traditional ways and was a winner?
The 80s Lakers.
Yeah.
That was the 80s Lakers because, I mean, and well, the 2000s Lakers as well, because the thing is, the only free agent from that time that was major free agent was Shaq. When you really think about it, Kobe got drafted. No, Kobe got drafted.
No, I know.
Derek Fisher was, it was a lot of drafting during that time, and then they got Shaq to kind of put the cherry on top of everything. Remember when Shaq first got there, the cornerstones of that team was Eddie Jones and Nick Van Exel. Then they added Kobe the very next year, then Shaq the very next year, and then they had the big four out there. So yeah,
the roster for the 2001 Lakers that beat the Sixers 4-1 was Kobe, who was drafted, Derek Fisher, who was originally an LA Laker.
Mm-hmm.
So he's originally drafted. He left and then he was originally a LA Laker. No, he didn't leave and come back. Greg Foster, Rick Fox.
Yeah, he had just got renounced by the Boston Celtics.
Yep, he got to LA in 97, 98. Okay, all right. Then you got Horace Grant, Ron Harper, and Robert Horry, but at the time Horace Grant wasn't Grant anymore. Neither was Ron Harper. They were both like 13 and 14 seasons in respective. Now Robert Horry, on the other hand, was only 8 seasons in.
Yeah, but as far as that is concerned, they built it from the ground up. It was a lot of cast-offs and role players. It wasn't.
Yeah, so
mega star.
Right. I would
they
say
didn't get to the mega super team until 2004, which that was a disaster.
But I'm trying to remember, what did they trade for Shaq though?
No, that he was a free agent.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
He was a free agent.
That's fair and square.
Yeah, that's fair and square. The 2000 Lakers. Yeah,
so I can't argue with that one. That one is.
So when you have that, they built it from the ground up, and so, like I said, LA keeps getting lucky because LA loves a winner. LA is one of the biggest markets in there. I wish they would send the LA Chargers back to San Diego. That would be the most logical thing to do because that's not LA's team.
No.
And that's not LA's team. So NFL, if you're listening, you need to send them back over there. I equivocate. Look, I'm just going to be real. LA is about as much, the Chargers or LA's team is about as much as the Clippers are. They're not. They should have stayed. Both of those teams should have stayed in LA. Should have stayed in San Diego. Because remember, it was the San Diego Clippers at one point. So, yeah.
Yeah, you know what's funny is I've always wondered why the Clippers didn't relocate like to another state. Like why, if you're, I mean, take the crappy previous owner aside. If you're the Clippers owner, why wouldn't you just move and relocate? Offer to, like why wouldn't you go to like right now if you're LA, that the Clippers, why wouldn't you move to Seattle? There's been talk about putting a Seattle team back in Seattle forever now.
And I thought that Steve Ballmer was going to do that at first, because I thought that if the Kawhi Leonard and Paul George things didn't, before he built the stadium, I would say.
Well, now they're not going anywhere.
Now they're not going anywhere. Before he built the stadium, I'm like, if this doesn't work out, because he has ties to Seattle. Yeah, he has ties to Seattle. Matter of fact, a lot of people don't know this. He offered the city of Seattle $100 million in order to help build a new stadium in order to keep them there.
Oh,
in Seattle.
So
that's why. Yeah, so that's how come it was so much controversy with them on the way out with Clay Bennett and company, because it was like, look, we have a mega billionaire, who's offering over $100 million in order to keep the team here, and he's gonna, put that towards the stadium and everything. And you still don't want to remain here? Like, that's bullshit, But it was. But
it was bullshit. The way that Seattle, that Supersonics left Seattle was horseshit.
Yeah.
But I am surprised that team didn't move. Venom, I just brought that up in the beginning of the show, but yeah, like I'm surprised it hasn't happened. And LA, like the Myles Garrett trade doesn't bother me at all. I think the Ohtani thing does, and the Luka one definitely bothered me, because I'm sorry, and I'll say it again, that was all planned out. It was all planned out.
I couldn't agree more, and I'm a Laker fan, because you just really?
And Dallas got the first overall pick.
Yep, Cooper Flag.
That was all staged and planned out. And I think that's why people I'm not, that's why I'm mad about the Luka trade. And then the Ohtani thing, I don't, whatever. I'm mad about that too, but not as bad as the Luka trade. The Myles Garrett thing, I think that's a fair fucking deal. I think it's a great trade. I think it's a great trade for the Rams. I think it's a great trade for the Browns. I think that's legit. But LA in general is always going to be one of those cities that garners attention because of how big it is. It's it's the second biggest market in the country, if not one of the biggest markets in the world. So, there's a reason Hollywood's there. So is it lucky? No, it just is what it is. It's LA. It always will be LA. I just don't like it when it looks like shady stuff is going on there. That's it. I don't mind you pull off legit trades. That's cool. That's fine. But the Luka thing is, I still get bothered by that shit, because that stuff was just like, yeah, I don't know. But I don't know. How do you think? Okay, so then to come back with this, how do you think that this shifts, besides in the NFC West division? How does this shift the balance, you think, in the NFC as a whole? Like right now, who's your top 5 teams in the NFC?
Right now, look, I'm gonna just be real. Outside of maybe a few teams, I really can't see anybody beating the Rams on paper at this point. On paper, I really can't see anybody beating them right now. Like, a lot of teams that were normally the usual suspects, they're on their way down. When you think about the San Francisco 49ers, they're on their way down. When you think about the Dallas Cowboys, they are a good when you think about the Philadelphia Eagles, they're on their way down.
I think Dallas is ascending.
Dallas is ascending, but as far
are they
as
there yet, no.
Can they beat the Rams? I doubt it.
You have Chicago who's ascending.
Yeah, Chicago who's ascending. Either you're ascending. There's no clear cut like a cut above to just everybody. There's no just like if we watch the Super Bowl this year, we can simulate the entire season and move all the way to January. This is the team that's going to be there. The only team I can see right now is the Rams on paper. And I do emphasize on paper, barring any injuries or any type of headaches, stuff like that. Barring Ty Simpson having to come in so early, things of that nature.
Yeah.
Because when you think about teams, they ascend and they descend. Like I said, the normal suspects, they are descending at this point. When you think about the 49ers, when you think about the Philadelphia Eagles,
I honestly think the only right now, I think the top 5. What's up, BRF?
BRF.
Top 5 in the NFC right now are you got the Rams, you got Seattle, and then I think the rest is kind of in the next the next 3 are kind of interchangeable: Dallas, Chicago, and Green Bay.
Yeah.
I think those are the top 5 teams in the NFC right now, and it's called kind of interchangeable. I think Minnesota, they have quarterback issues. Detroit is on the downswing right now.
That's what I mean. It's like a lot of the teams that were normally competitors are on the downhill swing.
Philly's got all their drama, and they can't figure it out. Like I said, I think Dallas is on the rise. Washington, I like them and the Giants, but they're nowhere near the Rams. And Washington, we need to see if Jaden Daniels is the real deal or not. I hate to say that, but after last year injuries and then him not playing well and the team overall not playing well, we need to kind of see. But right now, I think it's Seattle and the Rams, and then the next 3 are Chicago, Green Bay, Dallas, and they're all kind of the same-ish. They're all could be really, really, really good, but they all have question marks. So, you look at Green Bay, is Jordan Love going to finally ascend to the Jordan Love that we all keep thinking he's going to? You go to Dallas. Is Dak going to stop being Dak in the playoffs? Because it looks like they're a playoff team, but they fixed their defense. Their defense looks fantastic now. Can they actually get it done in the playoffs? Were they just the cardiac Bears last year, or they actually do they actually play to their talent level? So those 3 teams have legit question marks, where Seattle and the Rams clearly don't have a lot of question marks going into the season. Seattle, like you mentioned, got better, and obviously now the Rams have. So,
you know what? Hey, it's a lot, man. This trade really put them up there. And like I said, a lot of teams who were used to seeing the usual suspect have descended. So it's kind of crazy. But real quick, off subject before we go forward, bro. Do y'all know I'm just now figuring out today? I just now figured out today why we call the police 5-0.
Oh God.
No, I'm serious. No, because of Hawaii 5-0.
Oh.
Yeah, Hawaii 5-0 came out in the 1968. Yeah, so I was like, okay, I hate that I did put 2 and 2 together. It's like, yeah. Maybe we call 5-0.
So I'm just kind of looking over the Rams schedule right now. You got first their first game is overseas in Melbourne in Australia against the 49ers. Then you got the Giants, Broncos, Eagles, Bills, Cardinals, Raiders, Chargers, Commanders, Cardinals, Packers. That's prime time on Thanksgiving. Which now you got Micah Parsons versus Myles Garrett if Micah Parsons is healthy on Thanksgiving. Then you got the Chiefs and the Rams week 13, then the Niners. Then you got Rams Cowboys on the 20th, and then the Seahawks, and then they go Seahawks, Buccaneers, Seahawks to finish out the year. So they have kind of a gauntlet the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks of the season. The last 7 weeks of their season are Packers, Chiefs, 49ers, Cowboys, Seahawks, Buccaneers, Seahawks.
In the great words of Vince McMahon, you're going to run the gauntlet. You're going to run the gauntlet.
That's a pretty hard. Wow.
Got to ask you this real quick. Gotta ask you this. Potentially, of course, potentially, can this team top what the 2007 New England Patriots did?
No.
Do you think this is a 17-0 team?
No. There are no 17 and 0 team. No, there isn't. No. That New England Patriots squad was sculpted for the cause. No.
Okay.
The Rams
I'm
are
just
good.
asking.
The Rams are good, but no. They are not. No, they're not a 17-0 team because when you think about the Rams, as good as they are, as good as they are, I don't know. Like I don't know. You can still get them because as good as Matthew Stafford was being MVP last year, he can still be a little bit turnover happy at times. And the running game is good, but not like elite. They're really good, but not elite. They're good, not great. No. This is not a 17-0 team.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked Flash.
Okay.
First Tony, then Luca, now Myles Garrett. How lucky is the LA market at this point?
Lucky bastards. that's what they are. They are. It's like no matter the team, it's like they find a way to swing the right deal together, whether it's Nico Harrison taking pennies on the dollar for Luca.
That was staged. That was rigged.
Well, Dallas has to win now. They both have to succeed now because of it. Because if they don't win, who cares if it was rigged? If neither one of them does anything with it, who cares at this point? The Ohtani deal, to be able to swing a $700 million deal like that, paying $2 million a year for 10 years, and then $68 million a year for the next 10 after that, to be able to swing that, I don't know how, but hey, I let them have it. The Myles Garrett trade is like it's finally something that they really had to kind of, they had to ante something up to get him. But I mean, it's less need, F them picks. So I mean, it's less need. So he's gonna do something like this. And when you look at that trade, it's kind of a win-win because LA's not in a position. LA's not worried about building for the future right now. They're trying to win like now. And this was a all-in chips to the middle of the board type of move, getting to Myles Garrett, having to get rid of a top 10 pass rusher, in my opinion, in Jared Verse, plus it was a 2027 first, 2028 second, 2029 third. So they had to ante up a little bit. They had to ante up a little bit to get him. But I mean, LA's just I don't know how they keep doing it, man. They are probably as big a market as they are, they're probably the luckiest market right now because they arguably have the best player in the sport on 3 of their respective teams. Shohei Ohtani with the Dodgers, Luka's top 3 in the NBA. Myles Garrett's the best defensive player in football. So and in my opinion, he's top 5 in the league regardless of position. So I mean, it's just one of those things. They've been a real lucky market, but that's also the front offices of each of those teams doing their due diligence and putting that work in. So you get a little lucky sometimes when you put in that kind of work in because you're able to swing some stuff like that. So shout out to all 3 of those front offices to be able to get stuff like this done.
Hey, I'll say this, like I said earlier, I don't think that was a bad trade by the Cleveland Browns.
It wasn't bad at all.
Because, like I was saying earlier, they have not missed on anything these last 3 drafts. These last 2 drafts over the course of the last 2 years, they have not missed. From top to bottom, they have made it. The only thing, like Flash was saying earlier, that they need to hit on is the quarterback. We're hoping that Sador Sanders is going to be great, or that the other guy is going to finally learn how to throw the ball again. So that's the only thing that they're hoping for, which the chances of that happening is, yeah.
No.
But the only thing that they're lacking at this point is quarterback. Desmond Mason, Quinshawn Judkins, Ty Sampson, all of those running backs that they was able to draft, the tight end, Higgins that they were able to draft, the defensive rookie of the year, they have not missed, not one time. So with them bringing in a Jared Verse, now you can't replace the Myles Garrett, but when you bring in a Jared Verse in order to help replace him, plus you have 2 first-round picks next year in arguably one of the most deepest drafts that we're ever going to. It's going to be very much deeper than this one we just went through.
Mm-hmm.
Then guess what? You got 2 first-round picks, and to my knowledge, they may have 2 seconds, I believe.
I think they do.
So you have 2 first, 2 seconds. You got a chance to be real good going into that new stadium within the next couple of years. So, and look, I've said it before, I've said it again. When teams get into new stadiums, they do get damn good all of a sudden. So guess what? And now you may not be now in the immediate, bless you. In the immediate, the winners are going to be the Rams. In the immediate, it's going to be the Rams. And if they don't win, it's, in the great words of Chad Ochocinco, it will be a quote-unquote hot damn shame. So they will win in the immediate as far as at least one Super Bowl. But as far as in the future, I think that the Browns have a chance to do a lot of great things if they're able to keep hitting on the draft picks that they're getting at this point in time.
I'm a firm believer that you are who you are until you prove us otherwise. They are still going to be the Browns franchise, so they can hit on all the draft picks they want to, but until they do something with it, then I don't trust it. It just isn't. Look, it's like the Lions. The Lions have been the Lions, and the Lions had a little bit of a cute little run, and now they ain't looking so good again. Again, you are who you are until you're not. The Patriots were a terrible franchise for decades, and then they figured it out. And so,
Robert Kraft. Until Robert Kraft was on.
Yeah, the Packers were a terrible franchise for 30 years until Ron Wolf took over. Until you change, until you show me differently, then. But it doesn't mean I hate the trade for them. I think it's a smart trade. Just do they take it? Do they do something with it? So the Rams trading for it totally they are in down mode. I think they, and then the funny thing is that even if Stafford retires, I think they'll keep winning. They'll go get some. Again, that's why I thought Kyler Murray would go there. They'll get somebody like him, a quarterback that's a ton of talent that just kind of either went to a terrible situation or whatever. They'll get him in there and they'll probably continue to win.
Yeah. And speaking of the Patriots, big shout out to the late great Raymond Berry, who just passed away a couple of days ago. Led them to their first Super Bowl appearance back in the 80s. Unfortunately, he ran into the 85 Bears, but it was an accomplishment nevertheless. So a big shout out to Raymond Berry. And not to mention, he was one of the first ever true number 1 receivers. Him and Johnny U was one of the best combinations you ever want to see. So, all right, quick question. Real quick, 30 second hit. Does Myles Garrett trades automatically make them favorites of the Super Bowl?
They're one of the top 2. It's in the NFC. It's them in Seattle.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want. Look, yeah, we kind of touched on it. It's them in Seattle, and then the 3 interchangeable teams in Chicago, Dallas, and Green Bay.
Okay.
Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas.
I think I'm not writing on Philly yet.
I am. I think they're.
Dallas got to show me.
I'm not saying
what you over Detroit. I'm like that with Dallas. They got to show me.
I'm not saying that like Philly's done. I'm just like Philly's going this way. Dallas is going this way. At least it looks that way.
Dallas in the offseason has been going this way for the last 3 years, and they ain't done nothing with it. They got to show me.
That's fair. I'm just again. This is all on. It's like what Champs. This is all on paper.
Yeah, you still got to take that field.
This is all just on paper. So
that's what I'm saying. I'm not putting Dallas ahead of Philly just yet. They got to show me this year. They got to show me.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm kind of the talent is now not outweighing the drama now in Philly, and I think that's going to continue to. That's just my opinion. That's what I think will happen. That may not. I just think getting rid of AJ Brown doesn't solve their problems. They have more problems than just AJ Brown.
Yeah. Quick question, real quick, 1 minute. Should dynasty be the expectation instead of just a Super Bowl? Considering how on paper great this team is.
Talking about the Rams?
The Rams, yes. Should dynasty be expectation instead of Super Bowl?
Nah, win the first one. Win the first one, and if you can keep it together, then you talk dynasty. Nah, get this one first.
Yeah. Let's hold on. They didn't even win one. Like if they would have won last year instead of Seattle, and then they added Garrett, I think that's a more intriguing question. The fact that they didn't even get to the Super Bowl, I don't think that's. I don't.
Yeah, because we've seen. No, go ahead, Josh.
How when it comes to dynasty, it's the rule of three. You got to win three. How is Stafford's back going to hold up at 38 years old for 3 Super Bowl runs?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The reason I ask that is this: it's not just the Myles Garrett thing. They also had a pretty good draft outside of the Scott Simpson thing. Then they added Watson, and then they added Trent McDuffie. Then you turn around, you added 2 top corners. Then you add another just premier pass rusher. Not to mention the rumor mill is heating up on AD coming back. So when you add all of those elements into this damn mega team, that's the reason why I asked that question. Should dynasty be the expectations instead of the Super Bowl?
Nice.
Because at this point, if you win a Super Bowl, it's like this year, especially this year, it's kind of like, okay, you were supposed to win the Super Bowl because you got all this damn talent. The thing is, can you become a dynasty and be the first LA dynasty at this point because of all the talent that you're going to have over the course of at least the next 3 years?
I've seen too many NFL super teams fall flat on their face. Let's get this one first. Get this one, and then we can start talking. I've seen too many super teams in the National Football League fall flat on their face.
Give the audience an example.
The Dream Team, Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, I look at the 2010 Packers.
Yeah.
2010 Packers went on an historic run in that 2010 playoff run, and then went 15-1 going into the next year. And how young that team was, the talent at wide receiver and everything else, and again they were just a fart in the wind.
Okay.
Look at the 97 or the 96 Packers. Same thing. Dynasty again. I think we've been spoiled, for lack of a better term, by New England and Kansas City. It's now like an expectation now that teams are going to be that dominant for that long, and it's just that's not typical reality. That's why I think when you compare winning franchises in general, to be like, well, they're not the Patriots. It's like nobody is. Like that's a rare. That's like a one in a ever type thing. Like it probably won't happen again. Like the likelihood of what the Patriots did will never happen again. Like that's why you look at the Chiefs and how great they were for a man, and now it's starting to
the fart.
Now it's starting to poop, and now maybe they turn it around and get it back kind of on course. You don't know, but the likelihood of that, probably not. Because it just doesn't happen. You just don't dominate for 2 decades. It just doesn't do it. You don't have two separate dynasties essentially with the same, quarterback and head coach. So to just say, ooh, dynasty because they added a pass rusher, BRF's right. You go get one. And then go get two. When you get two, now if they go 17-0 and go and then end up going what? It'd be 20-0 or whatever now.
Yeah, it'd be 20-0, yeah.
20-0. All right, then we can maybe have that conversation. If you really want to have a legit dynasty conversation, you got to give me two. Give me two, then we'll talk.
You go 20-0, you're the greatest team in the history of the sport. I don't need a dynasty from you at the point. Your legacy,
you don't need it.
Your legacy. You go 20-0, your legacy's written in stone. You don't need to be a dynasty. You're the greatest 100%. Team in the history. You're the greatest team in the history of the sport.
Yeah,
dynasty or not.
Yeah, but that's like the New England Patriots of the 07 Patriots. Like they went from they would have been heralded as the greatest team to ever walk onto a football field, and now they're one of the best.
Remember for losing to Eli Manning.
What?
They're remembered for losing to Eli Manning.
Yeah. I mean, they're still remembered as one of the great teams of all time, but the one that just failed to see it's the 7-3 the 73-9 Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. They're one of the greatest teams, but they just failed. They didn't close the deal. So if you go 20-0, BRF's 100% hit it on the head. You don't need a dynasty. You are cemented as the greatest. Arguably the greatest professional sports team of all time.
Exactly. You're up there. You're in that tier
of
72 Dolphins, 98 Yankees, 95, 96 Bulls. Like you're in that tier.
Yeah. Look, gotta ask this question because I'm never gonna let us have a great show. Never. There's never going to be a time where I'm just going to just say we're going to run this thing just very, very smoothly. I'm going to actually
let me take a sip, prepare myself mentally.
Take a trip of the Black Panther drink, if you will. You will now have the power of the Black Panther stripped away.
Actually, this is the strawberry grape body armor. This is the one they made for Kobe.
Okay, awesome. Shout out to the late great Black Mamba.
Shout out.
But I gotta ask this question, man, because like I said, I'm never gonna let us have a good show. Who is the better defense on paper, the Rams or the Texans?
I'm still taking the Texans. As crazy as that sounds, I think they're better front. I think they're just better front to back. Because I mean, I don't think it's the linebackers for me. Who plays linebacker for the Rams?
Byron Young. He was their sack leader last season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was the sack leader last season. So yeah,
I'm still taking the Texans on paper.
Okay.
I'm still taking the Texans on paper, bro, man.
And then they just drafted Caden from Ohio State.
They just drafted Caden McDonald. You still got Will Anderson. You still got Daniil Hunter, and you got the best secondary in football. It's still the Texans.
Flash.
I think at the top end, the Rams are better. I think depth-wise and front to back, like from what BRF is saying, Texans are better. But my question is, what defense would perform better when it matters?
Front end, I'm still taking the Texans.
But
even with Myles Garrett, I'm still taking the Texans.
But it's the Texans.
It's Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter. You got two beasts at defensive end.
I know.
Two beasts.
But it's kind of like what we were just talking about, the Cowboys being the Cowboys and the Detroit Lions being the Detroit Lions. It's the Texans.
They're still better than the Rams. You're talking about it from an aspect of are they going to win this year? I'm talking about look what the Texans did last year, and then C.J. Stroud just literally laid the biggest egg, one of the biggest eggs in the history of sports.
That's true. That's very true. Yeah. You're right. That was an all.
This is a completely different context. We're just looking at who you picking. This ain't about winning. This is just who you picking. I'm still picking the Texans.
Yeah. On paper, I have to take the Texans. Plus the Texas team. Look, let's just be real. They scored enough damn points in the offseason in the playoffs in order to win games.
Let me rephrase the question. If the Rams have the Texans defense, are they a 17-0 team?
Absolutely.
Ooh. Ooh,
I'm gonna rephrase that question.
That's a dirty question. Ooh.
That's because I'm a dirty boy.
Oh, that's a dirty question.
All right, Johnny,
honestly,
don't hurt us.
Honestly, you could probably. Ooh, you can. That's a conversation. That's a conversation. That really is.
Because if they are,
God.
then I think that I think both your points that the Texans defense being better.
Yeah, I don't. See, I think
the Rams are on the cusp.
Yeah, they're on the cusp of being like they have something on the
They
defense.
should lose at max 2 games this year. Well,
I give them 4. I could see 4. I could see them go 13-4.
Fucking schedule.
I could see them go. I say minimum. They should They should not do worse than 12-5. Shouldn't do worse than 12-5. That should be like
they're only
should be their floor.
They're only cakewalks. They got Arizona, the Raiders, Chargers, Washington, Arizona again. So they have 5 cakewalks, in my opinion. Those are the cakewalks. Every other team is either a first place team or a playoff team.
Hold on, which teams you said? Which teams you said were cakewalks?
Arizona, Washington, the Chargers.
They're not a cakewalk.
Yeah, they are.
No, they're
Compared to the Rams team?
They're not a cakewalk. No, they're not. The Rams will probably beat them, but they're not a cakewalk.
I think they're a cakewalk.
They're not a
Chargers.
Yeah, they're not a cakewalk. No,
well, they don't have another number 1 receiver, so until to Flash's point, until they can get a number 1 outside of Ladd, cakewalk.
I promise you, they're not a cakewalk.
I don't. Okay, if you go into week 4 or week 8, who are you picking to win the game?
No. We're not. Nope. I'm picking the Rams to win, but this is like saying, if the Rams are like 8.5 point favorites, are they covering it? No, they're not covering 8.5.
They're not covering 8.5?
Not on the Chargers. No, they're not. No.
Oh, I take that bet. I'm not even a gambling guy.
I'm not taking that bet. I'm not taking that bet.
Oh, it's
because we can talk all we want to about Justin Herbert in the playoffs, but in the regular season, that man still shows up regardless of the defense. So I'm not taking that. Not taking it.
And the other cakewalk would be the Raiders.
Well, it's the Raiders, so of course.
And the Giants.
I agree.
Giants are maybe on health.
I agree with 4 of those, but no, not the Chargers. Nope, can't give you the Chargers.
Okay, another question. Can it come down to the best 2 defenses on paper in the league in the Super Bowl? Can it come down to that?
No, CJ Stroud.
It's CJ Stroud.
Well, the thing is, I'm going to just be real. Let's just be clear. It's something about ain't nobody family around, is it?
No. They're
okay. It's something about motherfuckers in their contract year that when they want to do right. CJ's in a contract year. So it's something.
You're right.
No.
You're right. No, you're laughing. You're right. You're right.
You're laughing, but it's something about.
But you're right.
With contract years, motherfuckers want to get it right all of a sudden.
No, you're right. That's why I'm laughing, because I didn't think about that at all. You're right.
Yeah. I mean, when you're playing for a contract, all of a sudden, here come 5,000 yards and 40 damn touchdowns out the blue. A defensive end that's in a contract year, you ain't had a certain amount of sacks all your whole career. All of a sudden, here come 12 sacks. Look what happened with the Predator last year.
If you get that out of CJ, if you get that out of CJ Stroud this year, the Texans are the number 1 seed in the AFC.
So I'm just saying, he in a contract year this year. So, and look.
I'm not saying your theory is wrong, because you're right about that does happen. I just don't see Stroud doing it.
Oh, that ain't all. The next year, we got a very deep quarterback class coming out. So if you don't win anything this year, your ass is grass.
I just don't.
I'm just being real. If he does not win anything this year, his ass is grass.
You got a lot of teams that are going to be eyeing for that. That's why Cleveland ammoing up on picks is a smart move.
Yeah.
You got a lot of teams that are going to be vying for a quarterback. next year, you got Miami, you got the Jets, you got possibly Cincinnati, depending on how that goes. You got Pittsburgh. You got Minnesota, depending on how either of them goes. You got Indy. You got
Arizona.
You got to throw us in there.
What?
You have to throw us in there too.
Atlanta. Yeah, Atlanta is in there. You got. I want to see Bryce Young build what he started to do at the end of last year, but that's still a question mark in my opinion. The Saints are going to be looking for a quarterback.
I like Tyler Shuck. I like him. I
like him, but
I don't know. I don't think they're going to be in the market. I like him. I don't think they're going to be in the market.
I like him, but I'm just saying, like, it's a possibility. That's all I'm saying. It's a possibility.
I don't. Well, if he just completely regresses, then yeah. But I don't know.
Possibility. I'm just looking at it from a could be perspective.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, I can give you. Yeah, I say yeah.
Could be.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's just a lot of teams are vying for a quarterback next year, and so
Another quick question, real quick. Who is the one team in the NFC right now on paper? I do emphasize on paper that can completely throw off any type of Super Bowl hopes that these guys have in the form of the LA Rams?
Outside of Seattle?
Outside of Seattle.
Green Bay. Peak Green Bay.
Dallas.
And it would be peak Dallas. If Dallas figured it out. Yes.
Dallas.
Those are the two teams. Chicago's a maybe. But the two teams at peak, if Dak doesn't, have diarrhea in the playoffs, the only two teams that could probably do it would be Green Bay. And at their peak, no injuries. Jordan Love is playing at like the Jordan Love level that we've been wanting him to, and we think he's going to. Micah Parsons is fully healthy and doing his thing. Again, at peak.
All right.
That's it. Dallas and I think Green Bay. BRF, what do you think?
Yeah. Peak Green Bay, peak Dallas. I don't care what anybody says. I'm not writing on Philly. People can talk about drama all they want to. I'm not writing on Philly. They still have, even with them trading AJ Brown, they still have an immense amount of talent on that squad. So I'm not writing them off. They do.
You're right.
I'm not writing them off.
I just get a little bit of a Russell Wilson vibe with Jalen Hurts with that team. Not from him, just the way they feel about him.
Well, let me tell you something. If they moved on from him after this year, that's on them. Because, my thing is this. Everybody's so strung up on, 4,600 yards, 38 touchdowns, just putting all these just elite first-team all-pro type numbers. Sometimes, depending on how your team is structured, 3,500 yards, 25 touchdowns, less small amount of interception, just win the games. Just win the games.
They have one of the Rams, as far as the Rams go, though, they have one of the more difficult schedules in football. So week 1, they got the Rams. Week 2, they got the Giants. I think week 3 early is going to be the biggest test that they have. They got to play the Broncos in week 3. You got to face defense versus defense.
Do you feel – that's my other question. How do you feel about the Broncos and New England going into next year?
You go first. You go first, champ. Go first, champ.
If Bo Nix doesn't get hurt, I think they have a better chance at winning because, unfortunately, let's just be honest with you, Drake did not do very, very much in that NFC Championship. Now, I had them winning it, but he didn't do very, very much. Plus, old dumbass Sean Payton, he didn't do a good job of protecting that QB that he had there.
Jarrett Stidham.
Yeah, he didn't do a good job of protecting him, especially in that damn storm. So, yeah.
Well, and I also think
that defense is going to be there. That defense is there.
I think on both New England the defense is there. The thing that I worry about is did they fix the offensive line enough with the draft picks and everything else in New England? And I'm more disappointed in Josh McDaniels' performance in that Super Bowl than I am Drake May. Like I'm disappointed in Drake May, but I'm disappointed in Josh McDaniels not protecting his young.
that play calling in that Super Bowl was unlike anything I've seen from Josh McDaniels.
Was just a disaster. But I think both teams will regress a little bit this year. I think Denver. It doesn't mean they won't be playoff teams. I just think they're going to regress a little bit this year. Both New England and Denver, I think, kind of rode the high last year. They both were 14-3, which is unexpected by both teams. I think they're both immensely talented. New England's defense is fantastic. It really is. But I think that there's some. I even with we haven't even gotten really to the AJ Brown thing, but adding AJ Brown today is huge, but I want to see it translate to, is it really him? Is he that much drama?
We'll find out.
Or is it just to see the Philly, whatever.
We definitely gonna find out this year, because
I will say though, if he comes back to being AJ Brown like we know he can be, yeah.
Like top 3 to 5 wide receiver AJ Brown.
If that happens, we're going to see a rubber match. But
there is no quarterback better suited probably in the NFL to throw that man a ball than Drake May.
Yeah.
Like there's a couple, like there's Josh Allen, but like Drake May's deep ball ability is stupidly, insanely good.
But the thing is though, I agree with you, but that's not even going to be the thing I'm watching the most with those two. It's not really the deep ball for me; it's the out of structure plays, because there are very few receivers who are good after the catch who are better after the catch than AJ Brown.
AJ Brown is one of the best run blocking wide receivers in the NFL.
He is, and as a wide receiver, like on a hitch or like a slant or anything like that, that man turns into a running back.
He is
after he grabs the ball.
He is a modern day Sterling Sharp.
Yeah, I like that comparison.
Modern day Sterling Sharp.
He is like one of the hardest to tackle wide receivers I have ever seen.
Go back and watch Sterling Sharp highlights, and he is very comparable to AJ Brown. Like Sterling Sharp was a really good, when he wanted to. He's a really good run blocking wide receiver as well. And in fact, that's how he got hurt in his career. But I think the what he'll contribute to not just the passing game but the running game is going to be huge. New England, the thing that like New England, Tevion Henderson didn't start taking off till the second half of last year, and I think that's going to continue into this year. If that offensive line improved and that passing game improves, you will see New England, as long as seems like their drama, drama in New England, that seems to have everybody's kind of moved on from it. Thank God. As weird as that was and awful as that was, hopefully that drama's kind of gone away now. What's up, PSP? And they can kind of concentrate on getting back to football. But hopefully that's kind of the case there. But you're going to see that's right up. AJ Brown fits right into the Vrabel hard-nosed running game. You're going to see.
Well, considering he played underneath them in Tennessee, so he already knows the system.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, it fits.
I think that Drake May is a hell of a lot more talented than Ryan Tannehill.
God, yes.
Oh yeah. Okay. In fact, I'd argue he's more talented than Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I don't think that's crazy.
No. He just is. He just hasn't won yet. So and the only thing I really worry about New England right now is that does he mentally come back from that type of, because that's. And everybody, when I said that, when it happened, that was my biggest concern, and it still is. When you are the starting quarterback of the New England Patriots and you are following up Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, and you have and Tom Brady, knowing it's Tom Brady, like that's what he did, was perform in Super Bowls, and you have one of the worst performances ever in a Super Bowl. how does that affect you mentally? That's what concerns me. I'm not saying he will like fail. I'm just saying that's my concern.
Okay.
That's huge. When you fail on that big of a stage like that hard, like that's massive. I hope he doesn't. I don't want him to, obviously.
I hope he doesn't either, because
the first 2 months of the season are going to tell like the big story as far as like how he recovers after that. The first 2 months of the season are going to go a long way.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, man, we enjoyed the people that's watching. For the people who just joined us, make sure you like and subscribe, man. We're glad to have you, man. Good to have you here. We're glad to educate and entertain you, aka edutainment, if you will. This one's for you, Flashman. Are your Patriots coming out of the AFC again with this AJ Brown?
I think it's possible. I think we're going into another AFC season where it's kind of wide open.
Mm-hmm.
You can make an argument for all these teams: New England, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Cincinnati, Jacksonville, Houston, Denver, the Chargers, the Chargers. And you can still make an argument for the Chiefs.
The back-to-back Kansas City Chiefs.
As long as they still have Reed and Mahomes, there's always that is always, it's just lurking. They have their issues, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying you can be like, and the Chiefs. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, I say I'll give the Chiefs are a half. 9.5. 9.5. That can come out of the whole conference. And there's not one clear cut like I think I look at New England and I go, all right, how does Drake May bounce back from that kind of performance in the Super Bowl? The fact that a team was so young and getting there so fast, how do they handle that? Buffalo is, how do they handle the new coach? Does it kind of shake this off getting them the new coach, and they just finally just have those bounces fall their way, that they finally get to that thing? Does Aaron Rodgers have one more run in him? Because that defense is still really good, and they have talent on offense. It's not like they're that bad of a team. And the AFC is weak enough right now. Baltimore still has all the talent in the world. They just does a new coach take over, and can Lamar Jackson finally win in the playoffs? The Bengals is Burrow. Can Burrow stay healthy? And is the defense literally average? That's all it takes. They need an average defense and Burrow to be healthy to be a Super Bowl contender. Okay.
Going back to the Cleveland Browns, real quick, I just thought I had to bring this up. They have 2 first-round picks, a second, a third, 3 fourth-round picks, 2 fifth-round picks, and they have 10 draft picks coming up this year. They have 10 draft picks. So, hey, like I stated, they've been hitting on all cylinders. So they gotta hit, and they gotta hit on the most important position in football. So, yeah, it's so crazy how many careers have been wasted in Cleveland. It's weird. But gotta ask you this, Flash. How much does this trade take away from the coaching distraction at this point as well? How much does this take away from, how much does this like put the fans in more of a mood of, okay, now we have this, we don't have to focus on Gianna Michaels and damn Johnny Sins over here.
Does it take away from the coaching distraction? Yeah, I think everybody's kind of had their fill of it. In fact, it got kind of a little like, don't get me wrong, I think that whole situation is disgusting. Just FYI. But I don't. But I think everybody kind of had their fill. They've been on to the next dramas and then what's going on. I think everybody's kind of moved on at this point.
Champ get on my damn nerve. He dropping these random names of people you ain't got no business knowing.
Should I? I'm just being real here. Act like Gianna Michaels. I mean,
Jesus, God,
Gianna Michaels and Johnny Sins up there to the weekly basis. You know what I'm saying? Out there making them flicks. You know what I'm saying? Stop making them flicks and go write a story.
We went around when we were talking about the Browns quarterback situation, and I said you got Bill Cosby 2.0, and you got the other dude. And
that's Mr. Man. No, that is Mr. Touch My Body. Brandon established that. That is Mr. Touch. That is Mr. Touch My Body. Brandon established that. He earned the right to coin that nickname. He should trademark that. That was epic.
Yeah, he trying to. Yeah,
that was epic. That to this day is still one of the greatest clips ever devised by Sports PSP when we were on that show and Brandon dropped that gem. I swear I've never laughed so hard in my life.
Boy, that stopped the whole damn podcast for at least 5 minutes.
For at least 5-10 minutes, it stopped everything.
It stopped every damn thing.
Oh God!
And the thing is, I don't think that Cleveland is done making trades.
No,
I don't think Cleveland is done making trades. I really think that. Look, depending on, I really think that they might trade one of the little serviceable players. Notice I'm saying serviceable players.
I think they could trade Jerry Jeudy because I think those receivers they drafted I think they're immediately in front of him on the depth chart. So I definitely think they could trade him. Among other people, they still got pieces there that they can get rid of.
Yeah, they still got pieces they can get rid of. So, although they've been hitting on all cylinders in the draft, so yeah, he is. They have a special way of getting things done up there in Cleveland. But let's see what you do. Let's see if Todd Monken, former Georgia Bulldogs, can get things popping up here. Before we wrap up the show, big shout out to Russell Wilson, who has retired from the NFL as of today. 10-time Pro Bowler, All-Pro, Super Bowl MVP, Super Bowl winner, and quarterback of the Legion of Boom team. Shout out to him, man. Look, we can say whatever we want to about Russ, but he did his thing. He did his thing. The only other quarterback, there's another quarterback that has just as many Pro Bowls as he does, and that's Warren Moon. So he will be in the Hall of Fame one day. So big shout out to Russell Wilson. He's going to be on, ironically, the same guy he's going to be on opposite of the guy who beat him in the Super Bowl, beat him in his last Super Bowl, Tom Brady, opposite of that, because he's going to CBS. Tom Brady's on Fox. So that's gonna how ironic. You're competing with him on the field, you're competing with him off the field. So it's gonna be, I can't wait to see what kind of contract they're gonna give Russell Wilson and how mild-mannered his ass is on there. Last time he probably gonna be the next Brian Gumbel. Last time we were on the field like that, guys, and you just got to hit the field right. You got to hit it into the neck hole.
So he's going to be a sideline reporter?
No, he's going to be a reporter. He's joining the panel. He's joining the panel with James Brown. Panel. So, yeah. So, it's going to probably be him. It's probably going to be him.
Studio panelist, let's ride.
Yeah.
Mr. Unlimited.
I don't mind him kicking off old Boomer Esiason's ass. So, you kick him off and let Russell Wilson take over. I'm just saying because Boomer Esiason annoys me. So
he's all right.
He annoys me. What? Look, I have no problem with you making all of these harsh assessments as a quarterback if you were that dude. But Boomer, let's be for real. Boomer.
What? What's wrong with Boomer?
Well, the thing is, I'm gonna just be real. I watch a lot of him outside of NFL Live and stuff like that on CBS. It's crazy how he talks about a lot of those guys who won Super Bowls. I'll never forget, when Doug Williams came up about him winning a Super Bowl, he was like, another Fugazi backup. I'm like, what the fuck did you ever win?
You won an MVP?
What the fuck did you ever win?
An MVP.
You ain't got no jury.
No, it's true. You just happen to run into Joe Montana.
So shit. You ain't got no jury. And on paper, if you really look at that damn team, that team was just as good as the damn 49ers.
He's the
They had
second
a three-headed monster.
he's the second greatest left-handed quarterback of all time.
Yeah.
Holds the record for
No. First is
pass-
Steve Young. No, first is Steve Young, then Kenny Stabler. Then Boomer.
Yeah. I would take Kenny Stabler over Boomer.
Kenny Stabler, then Boomer.
Yeah, okay. That's fair. Okay.
Kenny Stabler, then Boomer. So
Holds the record for most passing yards in the game.
yeah, but
MVP.
still Kenny Stabler. Won Super Bowl.
I know. That I agree. I'm just saying. I did. You know what has he done? He's legit.
He's legit, but I
He's
don't
all
like.
right.
I don't.
He's
I
all
just.
right.
It's
I'm
just
not
me.
saying he's like.
What's up, Dwayne? I don't like I said, I just didn't like how he spoke about Doug Williams. Like he was just a nobody. Like, bro, this guy took the Tampa Bay Bucks at their worst to an NFC championship. So
Yeah, that's true.
he took the Bucks at their worst to an NFC championship. So
When they had the original orange creamsicle uniforms.
yeah, them old ugly uniform. There was some, in the great words of the late great ugly of the late great O.J. Simpson, them ugly ass shoes. So I never would have wore those ugly ass shoes.
And your point.
What?
To your point, I was looking to see.
And Kenny Stabler had to face way harsher competition than Boomer Esiason. Let's just keep it real.
Yeah, that's true.
You had to face the Dolphins. You had to face the Dolphins. You had to face the damn Pittsburgh Steelers every single year. And
Doug Williams is a Hall of Famer and Boomer Esiason's not.
Not only that.
Which by the way, I do have a quick question. Is Doug Williams did he get in the Hall of Fame just for that Super Bowl run?
Well, he's not in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, he's in the College Football Hall of Fame. Sorry,
he's in the College Football Hall of Fame.
All right, my fault.
He's in. I
saw the little yellow banner.
And he didn't just make it in the College Football Hall of Fame because we got to think about this.
In college he was fucking like
he was
legit. No, I thought my bad. I fucked up. It's my fault.
Yeah, but and the thing is, he coached at Grambling too.
He did.
Yeah, he did. So Doug Williams.
That's all legit. I thought that I just saw the little yellow yellow banner on Wikipedia. I'm like, oh, he's a Hall of Famer, and then.
Well, if they would have let him in, personally, I really think probably because he did that monumental Super Bowl. I mean, it's kind of hard to ignore that.
It is hard to ignore. Yeah,
it's hard to ignore. You throwing 5 touchdowns back to back with a strained calf muscle, so kind of hard to do that. So I'll just be very, very honest with you. I think a lot of other quarterbacks should be considered as far as Hall of Fame. As far as black quarterbacks concerned, I think Steve McNair and Randall should be there. But I don't know, probably because of their lack of success in the playoffs. So their lack of
I would say out of those three, I think McNair would be the most deserving.
Yeah.
Out of those three, I think Randall Cunningham's.
I think he should be in there simply because another criteria I think that is overlooked is that did you change the game?
But he didn't though, because Fran Tarkenton was the original.
Well, he was the
original.
original.
Before Fran Tarkenton, like Bobby Lane was that way too, and then you could go before him, and Sammy Ball was kind of that way too.
Yeah, but I'm talking about modern day NFL. I'm gonna just be real. Fran Tarkenton really wasn't in the cards for a lot of things. Sammy Ball wasn't in the cards for those guys. They drafted them because of how great they were in the pocket. They just improvised a lot. So the same thing with Roger. So
yeah,
you had that traditionalism that they had in college, but then when they got to the NFL, then they started doing that. In college, he was a drop back. In college, he was a scrambling quarterback, and he was a real project as well. And I think the only reason why I think that Randall is not in the Hall of Fame is because I don't think, much like Lamar, the world hasn't still forgiven him if Lamar doesn't win one. that is. I'm hoping that he does.
I don't think that's it.
They
Sorry,
still they still haven't forgiven him for not winning with that damn defense that they had in Philadelphia.
Well, the other, I don't think it's that. I just think his peak was so short, and then he just went away for a while, and then he resurfaced in Minnesota, had that one great year, and then just went away again. I think that's the problem. I don't think it's that fact that he didn't win with that Philly defense. I don't think it's that. I just think it was like, yeesh. He shot up and he was great, and then he again, and then he resurfaced again. It was phenomenal in Minnesota for like a year, and then he went away again. It's like Michael Vick. Michael Vick like peaked, went really high, and then just down, and then really high again, and then went down again. And it's like his peak was phenomenal, but it wasn't sustainable enough, or it wasn't sustained enough to warrant a Hall of Fame thing. I think that's the problem. Because I think if he, because you look at Randall, let's look it up real quick.
I mean, when you talk about magnificent seasons, I think that 1990 season, the real reason why he didn't win the MVP is because Joe Montana. I'm just being real, because when you look at that 1990 season, when you put that is Lamar Jackson-esque numbers, especially back then. Look at that 1990 season. He had almost 3,500 yards, 30 touchdowns, and rushed for over 900 yards on 118 attempts and 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's a Lamar year.
That's a Lamar
I don't disagree with
year.
you. But then you look at, he basically had 3 years from 88 to 90 where he was really good. And then he played one game the next year in 91. I'm assuming he got hurt. I can't remember. Played 15 games in 92 and had a meh year, under 3,000 yards, 19 and 11 for touchdowns and picks. So he just kind of
in 96.
And then 93, he only played 4 games. 94, he played 14 games, and it was still just kind of a blah year. It wasn't really that good. And then he only played 7. So he just started getting hurt on and off. And then he went away. He was the backup for Minnesota in 97. Had a phenomenal that one-off year in 98 where they went to the NFC title game and lost.
That was a magnificent year.
Yeah, and that was him like more throwing from the pocket and throwing to Randy Moss and Jake Reed and Chris Carter. And then again, like the next year, he only played 6 games. And that was the thing. He just couldn't stay healthy.
Yeah.
That was the problem. Like, I don't think it's not that he was never forgiven. I just think he just couldn't stay healthy. Because he to me is one of those guys that if he stays healthy, he's a legit top 10 quarterback of all time if he stays healthy.
Yeah. But the whole thing with running quarterbacks, they never stay healthy for very, very long.
No.
As they age, it's just like they start getting the fuck knocked out. And that's what happened to Big Ben, I believe. That's what happened to Big Ben, to be honest with you, because he would run into sacks.
And he'd sit there and just take shots after shot after. And that's my point. That's the thing that when people talk about, like when Lamar came and they were, this is going to change the game. And like, no, it's not. You still got to throw from the pocket.
Yeah, you still got to throw it from that pocket. Luckily, he proved that he can do it.
Yeah, you just have to. He proved he could do it. But you have to learn. You can't be a running quarterback. That will never, ever, ever change. You have to be able to throw from the pocket. You have to be able to go through reads. You have to be able to throw through. You can't survive doing that.
The position, in the great words of my father, the position will not be cheated. That's the only position that will not be cheated.
You can't be cheated into the defensive players are too big, too strong, too fast. You can't survive. So it just is one of those things. So
yeah.
It's
you can get off on gimmicks on every other position other than the quarterback position. Every other position you can get off with gimmicks, but quarterback, nah.
Not for long. You can maybe do it for it's like when Brady was suspended for those 4 games and they went 4-0 with Jimmy Garoppolo, and then they beat the Texans with Jacoby Brissett with a broken hand. Yeah. And they were just like, well, they can just win without Brady. And I'm like, Do you really think that what they did against the Texans that game with Jacoby Brissett was sustainable? Because if you do, you're an idiot.
They was using the damn Wildcat when
yeah, they were the Wildcat. He could barely hand the ball off that game.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, so I just that's it.
Yeah. So, oh man. On that note, man, we gonna end it where we stand. Thank you guys for tuning in. Those of you in the chat, those of you who have commented, those of you who have done anything. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. Shout out to Ace Boogie. If Sam Bradford hadn't had chronic bag knee, he would have been slinging the ball like Stafford and Flacco. I agree with that to an extent, but I still don't believe that he should have been drafted first overall.
No, he shouldn't.
That's just being real.
Sam Bradford. I really believe that was a defensive draft, and Sue should have went first overall. Agreed. 1,000% agree.
First overall.
1,000% agree.
That was a pure defensive draft. But as usual, they always got to give it to a damn quarterback. I don't know what's wrong with the NFL and not wanting to draft a defensive player number 1 overall.
Yeah, that's one of those years. And Ndamukong Suh, the year he had in Nebraska, going to New York for the Heisman as a defensive tackle. That's one of them. You just gotta, Ndamukong Suh was the best. And Ndamukong Suh was like
Jerry McCoy number 2.
Yeah, that's one of those where it's like, I'm with you on that one.
Yeah,
but so that was a pure defensive draft. But they're gonna always sneak a quarter. This year was a defensive draft. Defensive draft in skill position, but they had to sneak that one quarterback up in there.
But we understand why.
Huh?
But we understand why. Because
why?
It's Fernando Mendoza. You look at the last couple years.
Not him. Well, no, Fernando Mendoza. That don't count. That I understand him.
That's what I'm saying.
I didn't understand Ty Simpson.
God, no.
I understood Fernando Mendoza, but
not that high.
I didn't understand Ty Simpson. Hey man, look, if my daddy knew the general manager, I'd get him to draft my ass number 10 too.
Ty Simpson, I'm
just being real. If my daddy knew the general manager of the Rams and I got ties in the NFL, hey Pop, talk to your homeboy over there, man. I need some millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying?
But I'll say this on Ty Simpson's behalf, though. Do I feel like he should have went that high? No, but let me tell you something. Matthew Stafford retires and then he takes over and he comes out like a ball of fire. I will shut up, Leslie. I will shut up.
The only way I shut up is if he showed the fuck out.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm talking about all the way the fuck out. Because the thing is, you're not going to have any excuses because you're behind a Hall of Famer already. You're in a system already that's conducive to you learning. And Matthew Stafford's only on a 2-year contract. So you're going to be playing by the time year 3 gets here for you, you're not going to have no choice but to be good. So if you don't come out that first year and at least make a fucking Pro Bowl, out of there. So,
nah. I ain't gonna go that far. Not get rid of him if you don't make Pro Bowl. Like he can, because I'm
talking about the first couple years that he's the starter. You have to at least make the Pro Bowl. Aaron Rodgers, I can understand you having a bad year the first year. Aaron Rodgers had a bad year the first year. Yep. Montana had a bad year the first year when he was no longer backing up Steve the Bird. Brett Favre, he had a 9-7 year when he first got there. I understand that first 1 to 2 years. But by that third year, once you set down under a coach behind a Hall of Famer, by year 3, you need to be ready.
But I know, but I'm saying give me if he gives me 3,300 yards, over 20 touchdowns, and the turnovers low, I'm cool. I'm cool with that out the gate.
But like I said, by year 3, by year 3, your third year as a starter, you gotta be putting up them Will Smith numbers. If you sat down, because you haven't been taking a pounding, you've had a chance to learn behind the best. Matthew Stafford is not a selfish guy. He's gonna give you everything he has. So, yeah, you were drafted number 10. By year 3 as a starter, you should be ready. sitting behind a Hall of Famer and you got a coach like Sean McVay, yeah, you should be ready.
I agree with that.
All right, I gotta get my kiddo to bed.
All right, guys, on that note, we going to end it all. Mahalo at y'all. Have a good one. Godspeed.
Take it easy, guys.
All right.